What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 4 of Next Level Sports UFL podcast. We owe you an apology. Episode 3, we had some technical difficulties. Pearl was shooting from some country in Asia, and we did not get exactly what we wanted, but we had some good F1 talk. We had some good UFL talk, but we are back with episode 4. I'm Tristan here in LA.
I'm Jordan here in Buffalo, and I would like to think that there is a conspiracy as to what happened with the download last week because somebody in this stream said China. And after that, there was no more stream. And Pearl's in Asia. And I didn't say it, but I have a theory.
That's an interesting
You have to
point.
be, and thank you for the introduction. I am Pearl Robert, the problem, some would say.
Problem child.
Um,
Where are you shooting from?
yeah,
The problem. Interesting.
I'm in Jakarta, Indonesia right now, and yeah, it's hand up. My hand is up. That one's on me. Okay, I had
I don't blame you.
miscommunication, and I tried to do everything I could. I was emailing our audio technicians, saying, "Hey, what can we do about this?" And you know what? Sometimes you guys would, but you know what? Look at the positive. We had a great 8-minute clip about you guys talking F1, which I loved. I'm a big F1 guy, so hearing you two banter back and forth, I mean, there's nothing better to me.
Cool. Love it. Well,
Thanks.
cheers to episode 4, boys.
Appreciate you
Let's
liking it.
get it going.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I thought we had gotten canceled. I thought they canceled us, and then all of a sudden, we're back.
We're back for another episode. But
Back like we never
before we
left.
get to UFL, let's talk some football. It is draft day of the NFL. What do we think of the first pick so far? Giants are on the clock. We will learn that live as I am a Giants fan. Jordan's a rival here, Eagles fan. Is that what you still are? Have you hopped on another bandwagon team?
Ooh.
Got it. Cool. So we're gonna.
The Giants are in an interesting spot here, Tristan.
I know.
Do you want a quarterback or do you want a receiver?
Personally, I would like a receiver here. I don't think the difference between a J.J. McCarthy and then a Michael Penix and a Bo Nix is enough to draft J.J. McCarthy at 6. Like, take Malik Neighbors, take Romeo Duze. I think they're great wide receivers. And then I think Bo Nix or Michael Penix will probably be available in the second round. And then I'm fine with doing that in the second round. But there's so much talent in this first round. I'd rather take pretty much any other position. Not another running back, please. Please not another running back, but something else. So
I really pray. I'm praying they take J.J. McCarthy because it'll be just the most Giants move of all time.
Yep.
The Giants have no business taking anything but an offensive or defensive lineman. Okay, they're awful.
Yeah.
Look,
you're not great if you pick
Penix,
6.
I'm not willing to say that Michael Penix or Bo Nix is like a good replacement for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I'm fine with giving Daniel another chance.
Well, fellas, I have to say, the pick is in.
The pick is that was quick.
We know who the Giants are taking.
That was too quick.
Wow.
I've
The
heard
pick
things
is in.
about JJ. The only thing I will say is if we do get JJ, here it is. They're announcing it.
Goodell rocking no tie. What do we think of that? Not very professional.
I think Goodell, it's probably in the back. He'll put it on eventually. You can't be the commissioner not wearing a tie.
Okay. Malik Neighbors,
Wait,
Giants pick. All
He's
right.
good. He's good. Shifty.
I
would say better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Really?
Some would say. I might be some.
I'm happy with that
Maybe
pick.
might be
I
some.
was a big Romeo Duze fan. He was my number 1 there, but this was probably the number 2 guy. So I'm happy with this. We've needed wide receiver help. Very happy with this pick that it wasn't J.J. McCarthy. Maybe he'll be a stud. Mark my words. Maybe he'll be a stud, but I did not see it.
He won't. He won't be. Don't worry.
I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen any teams move up here in the draft yet. The first 6 picks, everyone's staying pat. Everyone's got a guy that they seem to like. I was expecting a little bit more movement. Maybe a team like Minnesota or the Raiders or Denver come up if they really fall in love with their guy. But, it's, hey, congratulations to Tristan and to Daniel Jones.
Thank you.
You guys, you either got the next Odell Beckham or the next Kadarius Toney. Who knows?
Neither of those worked out too well for the
Yeah, just to
Giants.
Oh, come on. Odell is the best receiver you've seen in your lifetime.
No, no.
just to
Hakeem
recap the
Nicks.
draft so far here. Caleb Williams went first to the Bears. Jaden Daniels second to Washington. Drake May third to New England. Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals. Joe Alt to the Chargers, and then Malik Neighbors, like you just said. Is Drake May? Is future for him? Does he have to be like Tom Brady? Is that where he's got to be to be in New England and be a first round draft pick?
I don't
The
think.
expectation is what
Look,
I'm looking for. Is that the
the
expectation?
bar. That's a high expectation. That's a high bar. As a Dolphins fan, yeah, of course. If you're not Tom Brady, you suck. Okay, and the Patriots should be really mad if that's not what he ends up being. I do like him though, especially more than Jaden Daniels. And I think that a year ago people were saying, "Hey, Drake May or Caleb Williams." Like those two are up for the debate. And Caleb sort of pulled away this last year, which I think is the right decision. But I don't think Drake May is as far off as some people thought. His ceiling is very, very high, but his floor could be in the basement in some situations. So it's a very interesting pick. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of when the Jets took Zach Wilson, and I was like, man, this guy can be really, really boom for them. But now we saw how that turned out, and now he's enjoying the milfs in the Mile High City.
Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels. I think he's an exciting player. I think he has a lot of potential. And I low key think Washington had a really strong offseason. They have a young team of core players, receiver, running back. I think adding Jaden Daniels at quarterback. I think they had a strong offseason. They picked up a lot of really strong veteran guys at good value, bringing them into the young team where there's a lot of talent. I think that combo is going to mesh really well. I think they're going to be pretty good. They brought in Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, Mariota to be a backup. Makes a lot of sense there. They brought in Zach Ertz, Dante
Mm.
Fowler Jr., and then a few other guys as well across the board. But I think they have a lot of guys who are really strong players and who can continue to contribute here at a good value and help develop these younger guys.
Yeah, I don't think you named a person under the age of 45 there. So, if this was 2012, this team would be looking good. You're not wrong. I think we're
Yeah.
past a lot of the prime on those guys.
Yeah,
You're in the division, so I don't know. I don't know where your sense of let's go Washington is from being in the division because personally,
there's
they looked terrible last year. I don't think they're going to be that much better this year, and I'm okay with that. But in fairness, I don't think you guys are either. So
I'm
fly
not
was fly.
happy. I'm not happy for the Redskins. I will say, as a not super strong Giants team, I am fearful. There's a good chance they
Commanders.
could be
The
better than
Commanders.
us this year. The Commanders.
Wow,
Canceled.
that's not saying much.
um,
That's not saying a lot.
yeah.
I thought Joe Alt, San Diego, or not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, safe pick, but a good safe pick. Like you can't go wrong getting probably the best offensive tackle in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's my point. And looking at you have Harbaugh coming in, he's going to want to run the ball. Obviously,
Run
I
the
think
damn
Blake
ball.
Corum as a day two selection is going to be a shoe in for him. And realistically, he's the number one tackle on the board. And you right now, the Chargers currently have a good tackle already. Anyways, they have a good of a young tackle already. And adding this guy to the other side of the line, I mean, that's what Justin Herbert needs. I mean, look, availability is the best ability, and this guy, he's constantly getting hurt. He's got ribs, he's got shoulders, he's got arms, he's got I don't know, dandruff. Like anything with this guy is just an excuse for Chargers fans.
Mhm.
So you know what? Give him some protection. I'm fine with that because when the Miami Dolphins come in and run through the Chargers, I don't want to hear anything about them.
Cool. All right. With that, let's get into it. First down, let's get into a recap of week 4, almost at the halfway mark, starting with the first game, the Memphis Showboats versus the St. Louis Battlehawks. We had the Battlehawks winning at 32-17. Another disappointing for the loss for the Showboats at 1-3. Battlehawks at 3-1. What do we think, guys?
I thought St. Louis kind of took it away as they might be the most complete team in the UFL right now. Ability to run the ball, throw the ball. play pretty solid defense. I mean, honestly, 17 might be a little too much for a Showboats team on them. Um, but overall, I mean, AJ McCarron is probably the best football player in this league right now. Another great day, 3 touchdowns,
Wow.
222
Wow.
yards, 35 for
That
45.
let me interrupt you right there. You guys were giving me so much crap saying, "Oh, isn't he 40? Isn't he 40 years old? He's not good anymore." And I said I loved him after the first game, and now he's coming back strong. So you can apologize
No, you're
whenever.
right. You're
Thanks.
all right. Well, I want to apologize. I'll say I was wrong
No,
to,
no problem.
bust him a little bit. But he looks like a complete pro, honestly, and he looks like he has experience in the NFL. And I mean, he just proves it week after week.
Yeah, look, the Showboats. I mean, you look at the standings right now with where they are. This was a big drop for them. You're now 1-3. Michigan also lost this week. If you win this game, you're still tied for second. You're in a good position, and it's like, I don't know. It's tough with such a small season, 10 games only, right? Each game is just amplified. Um, I'm not sold yet on St. Louis though. I think that there's still a gap between them and the upper in Birmingham in this league. So but good win. They're in the right direction, I'll say.
Yeah. I mean, I think AJ McCarron again, great game, loving him. I think he's moving his name up the list for a possible MVP. They're running the ball well. Jacob Sailors, 15 attempts, 103 yards, some great rushing there, 3 yards. That was great to see. The quarterbacks in Memphis just not that strong. The O line I still think is their biggest problem there. Without the O line, you can't win. They had a couple injuries on the O line, which made it even harder. Again, though, they started off decent. They started off offensively decent. 17 points in the first half. I don't know if they get tired or what in the second half. Vinny Papali has his touchdowns again in the first half, and then just everyone disappears. Everyone disappears in the second
Bro,
half.
and the
For
kick
the
return.
Showboats.
The kick return.
Yeah, yeah, good kick return too. I just don't know what's going on in the second half. The Showboats just fall apart. So it's not looking good.
Bro,
Hey,
I don't see a lot of games.
You said something.
I don't see a lot of games on their schedule left that they can win. So I think it's going to be a tough rest of the year for them. They're going to have to rebuild for next year.
So, I mean, I guess that's kind of a conversation. Like, I look at their 4 games so far. I know they're 1-3, but they're not far from being 3-1. Like this team has been in most of the games they've played, or all the games they've played. The offense is just like the offensive line is just such a struggle. I mean, truly, like they just struggle blocking. And I mean, it's hard to win football games that way. That's why you're 1-3. But I don't think at 1-3 might be a real showing of what this team's talent is.
Look, they were only down by 3 heading into the half, right? So they were right there. So maybe they need to focus on their halftime locker room speeches because they did not come out hot enough. Maybe it's a coaching issue.
Luis Perez. Did you see his halftime speech this weekend?
No,
He was just like going
Please share.
I wish we should pull it up. We'll have the producer throw it in. So we'll just clip it right there. And good, perfect. He like gets like really, really amped up and starts like yelling at guys in the locker room. I think it was Luis Perez. If I'm wrong, so be it. But to me, I sat there and I was like,
that's great.
If I'm like, no, listen, no, that's not how I feel about it. I don't feel like it was great. I sat there and I was like, if I'm late 20s, early 30s, and this man is yelling at me about like, we need to play harder, sit down, do your job, don't throw 13 interceptions today, and maybe we have a chance.
You know what? I totally disagree. Because you know what? You have to lead from the front, Jordan. If you're just going to slouch in your locker at halftime saying, oh, boo is me, whoa ho, I'm playing bad today, guess what? Move on. Play the next play. Get your guys' heads up, okay? It's a mentality out there on that field. If you go out a loser, buddy, you're going to lose, okay? I love the rah-rah. Well, look, maybe he should have been more forceful. Maybe he should have gone up to his offensive line, smacked him around a little bit, okay? Saying, guys, I'm out here. I'm trying. You want me to play well? Play well. The offensive line is the only position on the field that can directly dictate how well everyone else on that field plays. You can get open on your routes. You can make the right reads. You can do the right cuts as a running back. If the offensive lineman misses the block, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well,
Doesn't
since you
matter
guys
if you're
brought it
Derrick
up, since you guys brought it up, let's dive into this game. Arlington Renegades at the Houston Roughnecks. Wow, was
Out
that
of order.
some bad football in my eyes? That was tough to watch. The Renegades have been in every game, whether it's high scoring or low scoring, but man, they just do not want to win, even if we think they're the better team. Final score: Roughnecks 17, Renegades 9. Oh no! Oh no! What do you guys got to say about this one other than the halftime speech?
Hey, we said last week one of these teams has got to win, and you know what? One of them won. that's can't really say much more about that. I mean, hey, congrats to the Roughnecks. They're in the win column now, and I guess looking at it, they're tied with Memphis for third in the division, right? One game back from second. So, big win. They're still in play.
Quick math.
They're still in
Quick
play.
math.
Look, they're riding a win streak now. Who knows what could happen next week? I mean,
I'm on that. We'll get to it. I'm on that.
I'm excited to see.
This could be the start of the championship DVD. You know?
Not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yep.
As I watch these Renegade games, and they always talk about Luis Perez and how he learned quarterback on YouTube. And now that they're 0-4, maybe YouTube's not the best place to learn quarterback. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe going to get coached by someone who knows the position, it might help you a little bit. I don't know. I'm more impressed with him as a bowler. I think the fact that he could bowl 300s regularly, you should have stopped there. You succeeded in life. You're good. You don't need to do more. Congrats. All in all, I don't understand how Arlington can't get a win. It's disheartening. I'm sick of losing money on them. Houston, I'm almost ready to say Reed Sinet might be the answer. I think this team is going to start rolling in the right direction. I think they're going to pick up a little steam again this week. I'm almost ready to say that this team is not that bad. They're not that bad.
Well, I got to drop a word for you there, and it's wrong. They are bad. Houston Roughnecks are also bad. Renegades, my goodness.
Stop the press. Stop the press.
Oh, we do got to talk about
the Atlanta Falcons have selected Michael Penix Jr., 8th overall in the draft.
Wow, what a shot.
What?
I agree.
You just signed Kirk Cousins. You just got Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he's the now, not the future. But this is where you're going to take your first overall pick in the draft? You're in win now mode. You're going to take Michael Penix? And I know this is off topic, and I know that that blows my mind. I totally disagree with that. I thought you get rid of Arthur Smith, the head coach, and you're finally going to start doing some stuff. No. The same old Falcons, that is a crazy pick to me.
I agree.
Quick response. I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. I think
I don't hate it at pick 48.
Do you know how much Kirk Cousins got paid? Do you know how much Kirk Cousins just got paid for them to draft another quarterback?
Listen, they're not picking him to play tomorrow. Let him sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two. Let him get comfortable in the league. Let him do what Jordan Love does. Why
sign Kirk Cousins now? Why?
Give him something to learn under. Who else is going to learn under?
But they want to.
So you're going to give him a tutor, bro? Don't pay Kirk Cousins.
They gave him a contract to teach.
Well, this is. I know. I get what you're saying, Jordan. I get it. I disagree with it. I don't think that this is the move. If you're a win now team, you have Bijan, you have Pitts, you have Drake London. These guys are going to have to get paid. Jordan, are you really going to tell me that those guys aren't good because Desmond Ridder was throwing them the ball? Desmond Ridder couldn't hit the wide side of a barn last year. But this guy, Michael Penix, he's also not the most accurate guy. That's why I thought, okay, second round, maybe you get into that rate. Late first, you trade back up and get the fifth-year option on him. This is way too early
You
for
could
me.
have got Romeo
Too rich
Odunze.
for my blood.
You could have got Romeo Odunze here and then traded up late in the first round or taken him in the
Get
second.
over it. Get over Romeo Odunze. Get over it.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the obsession with Romo Odunze from you.
I think the Bears are going to get him. The Bears are going to get him right here, and then pair him with Caleb, which is solid.
That's a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that. Look, it's a deep draft. Yeah. And now we're totally off topic. So let's get back into it. Roughnecks Arlington.
I got to get my final statements on this game. Arlington. I have one final thing for you at the end, but running the ball, leading rusher, Leedy Brown, 8 attempts, 17 yards. Second best rusher, Devon Smith, 6 rushes, 13 yards. I mean, we have 4 running backs there, all averaging 2 yards or less a carry. We're not in a good place running the ball. Luis Perez, I don't think he's the problem, but he didn't have a strong game. They're in trouble. I think fire the coach. Fire the coach. I know it's the UFL, but fire.
We mentioned that last.
Is it Stoops? We talked about this last week. Is it Stoops? Is he the coach here?
Yeah. Look, the seat is getting warmer.
Too old.
Seat's getting warmer.
You got to get rid
of out. I want to give one shout out to big boy defensive tackle Jalen Redmond. 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, 3 additional tackles. Now he's got 4.5 on the year. That's what we like to see from an interior guy. Really, really causing some havoc up in that interior pressure. So shout out him. The other thing, Arlington, you want to talk about their offense again, 193 total yards. That's the lowest output that they've had this year. The train has I think I'm willing to say the train is off the tracks for these guys. These guys are mentally going to check out sooner rather than later. I am officially fading Arlington the rest of the year.
Should a coaching change?
Coaching change is
what's needed. Coaching change is the only thing that can save them. But moving on to the second game, our third, but the second game of Saturday, the DC Defenders versus Birmingham Stallions. DC falling 20-18. Super tight game. This was one we all had our eyes on, and we're really excited to watch. Two of the big teams battling each other. What do you guys think?
Tough way to lose. Losing at a field goal at the end. I mean, and that's a big loss for DC with how the weekend shook up. You're now 2-2. You're third place in the division behind both the Brahmas and St. Louis now. This could be a loss where we look back in week 8 or 9 and it's like, man, you had it. You should have pulled that one out. But I've been on the Birmingham bandwagon. I've said that they're the best team, and you know what? They proved it. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. They pulled it out. Yeah. Shout out to the kickers again, really making their mark in the league.
Yeah. What was your thought on Adrian Martinez's performance this game, Pearl?
On Adrian Martinez, I can tell you right now. Well, we had Jordan Ta'amu, who played well. Why would you throw it to me when I don't have that shit up? That's bullshit.
Maybe you don't know his exact
Let me pull it up, and I can tell you exactly. He didn't play. He didn't play. He didn't play. Matt Corral played. That's funny.
You're muted, Jordan.
You want to stick with that answer? Yeah, I realize that. You want to stick with that answer? You should.
No, he did not. Look, he provided a lot of energy on the bench. But you know what? This was a big game for Ole Miss boosters. Jordan Ta'amu and Matt Corral playing in this game, playing well. Shout out Ole Miss quarterback.
I thought, honestly, I thought the Stallions went and won this game. I know DC kind of had it there at the end, but it's not like the Birmingham didn't go and make the plays that they had to make. I was happy that this game kind of came back on at a reasonable hour. The rain delay was perfect. It allowed for that Brahma drama game to get over with. They stepped right in, finished their game up, and you just rode into the next day. F1 race in the morning, sure. So, but another game that we saw come right down to the end of the game, field goal to win it, and then the DC trying to take it back at the end to seal the game. But ultimately, I mean, Stallions, they're 4-0 for a reason. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
really thought DC was going to pull this one out. I had picked them. I was really hoping for it. But great game, great again for the UFL. Rain delays sucked, but yeah, I mean, another nail biter, another one with special teams making the decision. Love that. Can someone tell me why did Matt Corral play? Was Adrian Martinez hurt?
No. I think they're
No.
just doing
So my man went from number
to get
one
both of them
for
time to
MVP
play and
race.
film.
What?
I said I think they're just giving them both time to play for film. Like, it's not
True.
about. There's no reason behind it.
Okay. Well, going from number one the MVP candidacy to not starting is something. So, but I guess they listened to it. They must have seen this podcast and saw a 2-quarterback system doesn't work. They're like, all right, we'll give one game and one another game. At least give them the whole game. So we'll see what happens. If they win alternating throughout the whole season, that would be legendary.
We have another big pick in the NFL draft.
So awesome.
You're angry, Jordan? Get angry.
Let's finish up.
We have another big pick in the NFL
draft. Let's finish up this last game and then we'll talk about it. Last game and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Michigan Panthers at San Antonio Brahmas. The B word, San Antonio B word against the Michigan Panthers. Final score: San Antonio 19, Michigan 9. Tough.
Michigan sucks.
Tough. EJ Perry.
9 points. Who are you? Who are you? The Arlington Renegades? That's embarrassing. I sold. I faded. They're done.
Wow. There's only 6 teams left in the league for pro at this point. There are 6 teams left in the UFL. The Renegades, Michigan, are not teams anymore. Jake Bates, thank you for kicking for 4 weeks. We'll see you next year in the NFL.
Look, when your best player is your kicker, I'm out. Okay? This is football, not soccer, my friends.
Yeah. Just like college all over again.
Definitely probably the worst game of the weekend. Just wasn't great to watch. Dormandy, pretty good game, especially for stepping in there.
Shout out. Step in.
For an injured Chase Garbers. Did anyone see his name and instantly think of D-Day and Normandy and just was like, they just combined that and that's how they got that name?
Yep.
Because that's all I could think about every time they said it. I was like, that's annoying. EJ Perry, another strong showing for Pearl to prove his point from earlier in the season. Brahma drama, not this week. They were in control for that one.
EJ Perry, if you want to talk about it, he didn't even throw. The Panthers' touchdown was late in the 4th. Backup quarterback threw it, Danny Etling. He said, "Hey, give me the rock. Let me spin it a little bit. Let me show you what I can do."
Is that Danny Etling from Texas?
Sounds like a Texas name. Sounds like it. Yeah, I mean, look, this big win for San Antonio. You lose your starting quarterback for the year. You wonder how you respond. No, not a big win. You're 3-1. If you can patchwork it the rest of the season. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Purdue,
yeah.
And then LSU.
No, he. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember now. Yeah, but San Antonio, look, your season's alive. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how many times you can get back up, right? So without your starting quarterback, Dormandy coming in, I'm very intrigued to see how they play the rest of the season, see how much better he gets within that offense, see how much more comfortable he gets. I'm not out on San Antonio. They could very well make some noise. I was impressed to see the resilience from that team, and especially you got St. Louis there. You're tied with them at the top of the standings for the XFL conference. It'll get tight. Do they play each other the rest of the year? I don't remember.
Well, I'm glad you're not out on
Mm,
San Antonio, Pearl, since they're 3-1. I'm glad you're still in on a 3-1 team. That'd make it very
big
challenging to
time.
pick one.
Big time.
But man, whenever Pearl roots for Michigan or says EJ Perry's playing well, that's when he falls apart. So I think he might be listening to our podcast too and just plays to spite you. I don't know what happened to him throwing the ball. I thought he was going to have more rushing yards than he was passing yards in this game. With 50 yards rushing, he's 27 off. But man, disappointing game from Michigan.
Ooh,
The defense was
He
playing well. I was really excited by all that, but just yeah, Brahmas
I'm a. I'm
showed what
playing.
they could do.
I'm playing. I'm playing the look ahead game here. Week 10, San Antonio visits St. Louis. Will probably end up deciding the division right there.
That'll be a
And
good
you
one.
know they a good chance both those teams only come in with a couple losses. That'll be we're shaping up for a nice run at the end of the year here.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. That's all the
Mhm.
games from week one. Let's chicken on the draft. What are our thoughts with some of the most recent picks here? I know Vikings are about to make their selection.
Okay, yeah. Well, we saw a trade. The Jets and the Vikings. The Jets traded back one spot to 11. Vikings move up and they say, "We got our guy. Give us JJ McCarthy." I don't think a lot of people would have been expecting that 18 months ago, 12 months ago. But you know what? We're here. We're now. I think he's a great fit for Minnesota. I think by far they have one of the better situations for a quarterback to come into this year. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison out there. Maybe you get a little bit more production out of your running backs this year, help take some of that pressure off of him. But you also got Sam Darnold there, who, whatever, he played however he's played. But I don't think he's a terrible. I think he's on the same level as Jacoby Brissett in New England. Um, and so when you compare those two situations, it's okay. You have Jacoby Brissett and Drake may behind him, but a much worse offense versus McCarthy with Sam Darnold in front of him with a much better supporting cast. I really like this spot for them, and I like the conviction to go get their guy. I don't think that they were at risking of the Jets taking him there. So the trade, it's maybe they were talking to another team, maybe a Denver or an Oakland guy. We're just going to come down and take him.
Yeah,
But I like that pick a lot more than the Michael Penix pick. Way more, way more.
I
I
agree.
thought he had a much better year than Penix. I mean, we saw how the championship turned out.
Yeah, I think the pick makes sense. I'm surprised they traded up. There must have been a reason for it. I probably would have waited. I'd want to see what they gave up for that one spot. I'm hoping it's not too much, but if
It
it was
was
a spot,
it was a couple late picks, late pick
all right,
stuff.
late picks
Jordan,
ain't
what
bad.
is that? What are you doing?
I don't know if he's the guy, but I will say he's done one of the most important things for a quarterback to do to be on my radar is win. He wins games. He won games. I know it
He's
was one
white.
game, but he won games. So
um,
we'll see. And the Bears right before that did take Romeo Duzé. I think they're having a great draft and lucking out with these picks. I mean, hard not to luck out with the first
uh,
pick, but their second one too was good.
Jordan got up exasperated. Please, enlighten us.
I
Enlighten us with your.
I think that JJ McCarthy is the biggest bust of a QB that we have seen since Troy
Josh
Smith.
Rosen.
Like
Josh
I don't
Rosen.
the fact.
Josh,
Have you guys
real
watched
bad.
a game of college football? I mean, he is trash. He is not
Never.
a good quarterback. Michigan is
How
a
can
better
you say
football. No. Let me talk. Let me finish.
Oh.
Michigan
Speak.
was a better football team than Washington, straight up, no doubt about it. Probably the best football team in the country. Georgia might have gave them a game, who knows? But it wasn't because of him. He was the reason they lost to TCU. You guys, that is a terrible take. The best part about him going to Minnesota is the fact that he has a dome to play in, so he has a regulated temperature. Because this man is trash. I'll be surprised if he actually ever sees a second season as a starter.
This man played in Michigan.
Yeah, they don't have weather in Michigan.
This guy
There's no
knows-
weather in Michigan, right? You're so wrong on this, Jordan. Okay,
Awful.
first of all, there's an issue. There's a disconnect. Okay, did he have as many opportunities as some of the other quarterbacks in this class to make plays? No, he didn't play that much in
He can't
college.
make them because he can't
He
make the
won
plays.
games. He won games.
Jordan.
He did what he had to do and beat some of the
Jim
top.
Harbaugh said he's the best quarterback to ever walk through Michigan's halls. You know who else went to Michigan? Thomas Edward Brady. Am I saying he's better than him? No.
No.
I'm saying he was drafted 250 spots ahead of him, though, so maybe he might be.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm telling you, we could come back in 2 years because that's when he'll be out of the league. And look at this, and I'll be like, yeah, I said it. I said it.
Wow.
2 years will be out. Even Zach Wilson's still in the
good.
league.
He is not good.
I kid. You're right. I can't wait to come back in 2 years.
We'll see.
I did not anticipate coming into this draft as a huge J.J. McCarthy guy. But you know what? I feel like I have to fall on that sword now. He just to spite you, Jordan. He's my guy. He's my guy.
Ever since the Giants passed on him, I've been. I
was almost ready to walk. I'm almost ready to. We should keep the conversation to the UFL because I'm almost ready to walk off this podcast. This is actually absurd. I feel like I'm talking with unknowledgeable people about the game of football.
Vikings win
he's
total
terrible.
next year.
He belongs in New York with the Jets. He belongs in New York with the Jets because it would be perfect.
Vikings win.
Well, the Jets just took offensive tackle Olu Fashanu, so he's not. Big Penn State boy. I like him.
Jordan, what you got? Vikings win total next year.
What's the line at?
I don't know, but what are you saying they're going to win with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback? Let me hear you.
If he's starting at quarterback, 3.
I like Kirby likes the pick.
I'll bet the over there. You want to put money on it?
Yeah.
Put money on it with me.
No, because I want to look at their schedule. But I want to see what their line is.
Put Kirby's name right on.
He's got to be starting quarterback.
Yeah. End of the podcast.
And I'll
look up the win total.
3.
And look up their schedule, and we'll make a bet.
It's not going to be in there right now. I mean, they just drafted.
Just find the schedule. The schedules don't release till next week, or they're already out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Second down, we're talking about expansion teams, where we want to see them. Exciting topic for next year. Could we add 2 more teams possibly, make it a 12-team league? I think the attention's there. I think we've learned a lot from the game so far. So we're here to talk about what 2 cities do we see possible expansion teams coming into for the year 2025. Pass it over to Jordan to share his first.
Yeah. So I put some thought into this, and I was like, should we expand to the West Coast? And I was like, no, fans suck there. I thought, should we add another team in Texas? Maybe Austin. I think we have enough in Texas right now because they can't win anyways.
I think Texas has enough of them.
In Florida, I considered Florida. I considered Georgia. Ultimately, I decided Nashville was the spot that we need a team.
Ooh.
I think the city is young. It's fun. People are getting drunk anyway. So what's a Saturday afternoon at a football game? They have a stadium there. So yeah, I think that's a perfect fit for a UFL type football team. And it's kind of, it's geographically in the area. We're not expanding too far, obviously. Like, we already have a team in Tennessee. We're all on the East Coast anyways. I think Nashville's a good move.
I like that. I like Nashville as a football town.
Not bad.
I think it checked all the boxes. They had the draft back a couple of years ago, and 600,000 people went. Like, those people love some ball, and yeah, right. I think that's a great pick. Way to start us off hot. It's going to be hard to beat Nashville, I think.
Anywhere else?
But I can try.
Is that your one?
Wait, what's your name? What are you going to call them? What are you going to call them?
The Nashville Predators. No, I'm kidding. That's funny. Let me get back to you on that. Let me think about that. Let me process that one. Let me cook with that one.
Off the top of my head, I think Nashville. I think you could go with the Dolly Partons. I think you could go with. Let's see. Maybe that's what you do. You just crowd fund from a bunch of country singers, and then you just call them like
trying to find something to go with Nashville in terms of country music. So I was working on that.
That's good. All right. Well, then we can move on to mine if you don't mind, Tristan.
You got a second city, Jordan, or not?
No, everyone has one.
I got 2.
Everyone has one. Sure you do. I'm
Yeah,
sure
but it
you
can't be an
do, and I'm
uneven
sure
numbered
not one of
league.
them is right.
Where are they gonna have 11 teams in the league?
All right. Well, Tristan, I'm going to move on to my team
Go
because
for
I
it.
think these guys can. I'm going to say we need a team in Miami, of course. Naturally, we got the sun, we got the water, we got the babes. I think it's a city that really there's so much to do, so you got to produce, and I think that's what we need: are good teams. And if you're not going to be a good team, don't come to Miami. As far as names, I think the Miami Jellyfish, or preferably the Miami Man of War. The Gators are up for grabs. I think that could be a good one. And maybe you also go just Miami Dolphins. Say duke it out. Let's see who's got the better. Whoever has the better winning percentage at the end of the year gets the name. I think that could be a fun little twist in it also. Um, but yeah, it's because you have the team in Orlando with the XFL, and no one wants to go to Orlando unless you're some weird Disney adult. There's nothing to do out there.
What team you got?
It's or I mean, what team do I got?
What teams in Orlando?
No, in the XFL, though, they had the Orlando team last season.
Magic.
Who?
No. It was the Guardians. Thank you.
I thought the Guardians were New
This
York.
was back in. See, Tristan, this is where you are wrong. The Orlando Guardians, where what? Maybe they were part of the UFL. Yeah, they were one of the teams that got cut down.
Okay.
No, they were charter members of the XFL. That's what it was.
Who'd they have?
They competed in 2023.
With who? Those are the Orlando Guardians, and they took the New York team. Okay. Okay.
They finished 1-9, so
Yeah.
not a great history.
Let me give mine real quick. Then Orlando was one that was on the top of my list.
Time out.
No, before
The
we go,
quarterback for the Orlando Guardians.
what?
The quarterback for the Orlando Guardians, Quentin Dormandy.
Wow.
Quarterback for San Antonio.
As many wins as a Brahmas quarterback as it was for Orlando.
That's a fun little note there. That's
Cool.
a fun little note.
Cool. Before we react to this draft
All
pick,
right, Tristan, let's
I'll
hear
share-
your before teams.
Yep, I'll share mine before we react to this draft pick that just happened. I was thinking about Orlando. I thought that'd be good. I think they deserve a football team having, the magic there and such. Tampa was fun when they had the Vipers, even though they were booty.
Mhm.
But I really am impressed with Michigan, their support. I don't like the stadium, but I think there's opportunities. I think there's a city out there that's a major city and has not seen a winning team in a while, and they need a new team. I'm putting it in Chicago. Chicago is getting a
Ooh.
team to be rivals with the Michigan Panthers. I think it's a good place for it. I think the Midwest will support. I agree. It's not. I think we should slowly move west, but not west. Some other honorable mentions. I was thinking about another New England team, but another team in Boston. They love sports up there. But if we have Chicago,
That's not a bad take.
I guess team name could be the Chicago
Cubs.
I would love for it to be the Chicago
So-
Cheesehead, just to fight with
So
Green
here's-
Bay.
Did you see who the Broncos
Cheese curd.
Did you see the Broncos took?
Yes, that's what I want to talk about next. Broncos took Bo Nix, quarterback.
I need to
of
wait.
Oregon.
I need to talk about Chicago. I need to talk about Chicago first. The problem you have with putting teams up north, in my opinion, if you're playing in Chicago, you need an indoor stadium because that's like Michigan works because they're indoor because of the weather early in the spring like that can be so brutal. I was gonna almost say Buffalo. I was like Buffalo's, I hate to say it because I live here, but it's a good sports town. Like people love their teams here, and I like the lacrosse team that's here, the PLL team or whatever it is. Like they won the last two championships for their league, and they get fired up at these games. So I think they would love a UFL team. I just think the winners are too brutal, and no one would want to be up here. So
I mean, I think I don't get that point fully because people are showing up for the NFL games that are through the winter, and like if they're that big of sports fans, I think they'll come in the spring to these games, no matter what. They're used to it.
But
They live there. They're not just there for dental school.
you have to understand, like, the NFL has built up the brand that people are going to go to these games. Like, 30 people lost limbs at the Kansas City playoff game. Like, UFL is not going to attract that right now. I got a name
Summer
for
League.
Nashville. I got a name for Nashville. The Nashville Nomads.
Okay, that is a name.
Come on, be ready.
This guy. This
All right,
guy.
we're on third down,
my boy.
money making down.
I love.
Here comes money, 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 money. It's not gambling. If you know you got to win, follow our picks to win money, but we're not responsible for any of your losses.
Alrighty, so
We
following
are
up from last week,
Sunshine Warriors.
following up from last week, game 1, Showboats Battlehawks. Me and Tristan both took Battlehawks -7, which hit. Pearl lost that. We both had the under, which did not hit. The over was only over of the weekend. Defenders, me and Tristan +9 taking the defenders. Easy one. Robert 0 for 2 there, so we're getting close. Robert covers it in game 3. Brahma's +1. Me and Tristan taking the Panthers, just a struggle. And then Renegades Roughnecks. I took the Roughnecks +3 just because I didn't want to be with Tristan for all 4 games, and thank goodness I did. Thank goodness I did. Tristan and Pearl taking the Renegades. Rough week for you, Pearl. Rough week.
Oh,
Yeah.
one
Small bounce back for a major comeback.
One over under away from tarps off. One over under away.
Yeah.
That would have been.
That'll
great.
be the day. You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me.
Great, but hit most of
I
my
haven't
unders,
been along,
which I was
I haven't been
nervous
around
about.
Pearl for I haven't been around Pearl for like 2 days without seeing him tarps off.
True.
That's fair. It's a lifestyle, not a choice.
I was 5-8, so winning week 4 for 6.
I have our totals at the bottom here. So
Ah.
our totals that we got on the year so far. Pearl is 6 for 12. Tristan is 6 for 12. So both of them are at even, and I am 8 for 12. So whatever that's up.
What do you mean 6 and 12, or
No,
6?
six-
What is 6 for 12?
Like we had 12 games.
6 wins and 12 losses.
No, 6 wins, 6 losses. You're even.
Oh, okay. So say 6 and 6.
6 for 12. Thank you for proving my point of what 6 for 12 means. Thank you.
All right, you're right.
Oh,
Whatever.
On the over unders, we were all 3 for 4 last week. Pretty impressive.
Really?
see?
Oh.
Hey, maybe we found our strength. Maybe we found a leak in the market.
True.
All right, so let's go through this week's lines. Who we got?
All right, so game 1 Saturday night, 2 games Saturday night, and then 2 games Sunday afternoon. Saturday night we have Stallions at Houston Roughnecks. Stallions -7.5, over under 42.
Easy. Give me the Stallions. I'm gonna ride them. They they let me down last week, but that's okay. I still believe in this team, and I believe in the direction of the program.
Yeah.
Well, over under.
I don't really have a play on the over under here. I think.
Oh, go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
You're right, Pearl. I like that pick. I'm going with you.
Thank you.
I think it's a good pick. I'm also taking the over here. I think they'll hit it.
I don't know about that. You know what, Jordan? Put me down for an under.
Ooh.
All right. You sure?
Sure.
So here, we were talking about a little bit earlier. I like the Roughnecks +7.5. I'm almost ready to take the Roughnecks money line. I think the Roughnecks catch a little fire this week. Yeah, I think the Stallions are due for a loss, and
that's
I think the
playing with
Roughnecks
fire.
are going to give them the first one. So give me Roughnecks +7.5. I'll take the little cushion, and I like the over. I'm with you, Tristan. Sadly.
Hey, there we go.
Oh man.
Game 2, also Saturday night, we have Brahma Drama at the Arlington Renegades. Arlington +2.5, over under at 40.
Yeah,
Arlington.
I don't understand why the B words aren't bigger favorites here. Arlington is 0-4 and really bad. So yeah, I like the B words here to easily cover this. I think they win by over a score. They've been in the game, but I've given up hope. Like, fire the coach. They can't win. They can't win. So what was the over under?
40.
40. I'm gonna take the over. I'm taking the over here. I think I think they had an off offensive game, but every other game they put up a good amount of points. They just don't win. So I'm fine with the over here.
Look, I agree with what you're saying about the Brahmas, or the B words, as you so eloquently put it every time. But yeah, I think that the under is the play here. I don't think any team from Texas is at risk of putting up more than 10 points in any game the rest of the season. So give me the under.
I'll bet you the Renegades put
Um,
up over 12 points this game.
This game,
Yeah.
what are we betting?
Loser has to spin the punishment wheel.
Okay, deal. Shake on it.
love it. I love it.
Shake on it.
Give me another upset.
That's a
Right,
pretty
right,
weak
right.
handshake you got there. Not a
Write
firm
that
grip.
down.
Not a firm grip.
Why was your hand wet and sticky?
Give me.
I'm nervous,
give me
man.
another
It's draft
upset.
day.
Give
I'm
me
waiting
another
for a
upset.
call.
Give me another upset Saturday
Oh,
night.
no.
I like
He's gone crazy.
I like Renegades. Renegades plus 2.5. I think it's going to be an under. I think it's going to be a low scoring battle. I think Normandy is going to go back to Normandy, come back to Earth. Not going to be as good as he was last week. And Luis Perez, please don't let me down again because I am going to be betting heavy money on this one. So again, Renegades and the under. First game Sunday afternoon. DC at home against the Battlehawks. DC plus 3 over under 46.5.
Jordan, you go first on
DC
this
plus 3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For this game, like I said earlier in the podcast, like I think the Battlehawks are the most complete team. They're able to run the ball. They're able to throw the ball. They play solid defense, and I think they carry it again this week. I know DC is a difficult place to play. I don't think it phases AJ McCarron too much. So give me the Battlehawks minus 3. Over under 46.5 is a lot of points. Just too many in this league for me right now. So I'll take the under.
I'm with you on the under, but I am going to go DC plus 3 here. I think that this could be a bounce back spot for them. It'll be close. It'll be competitive. It'll probably come down to the last possession. So yeah, I have no issue riding with the underdog in this spot.
I gotta say I'm with you, Pearl. I think these are again two top teams. I was hoping DC would win last week, but I think it's safe to go with the team that's the underdog here. 3 points could be a big difference in this league, depending on 2-point conversion, 3-point conversion, 1-point conversion. We haven't seen a lot of them made, so 3 points is a lot in this league. And I'm also going to go with you guys and take the under. I think if Battlehawks can cover this game, I think they've dominantly put themselves as the favorite.
Is that Unity pick of the week, the under?
Could be the Unity pick of the week.
Unity pick of the week.
All right, game 4, final game Sunday afternoon. We have Michigan Panthers on the road. Finally. No, I'm kidding. At Memphis against the Showboats. Memphis minus 1.5 over under a 40.
You know what? I know we were talking all that rah-rah, all that trash. I'm going to predict a Memphis victory, and I'm going to predict a Papali 2+ touchdown game here. That's the prop bet I'm throwing in.
Whoa.
Love it.
Whoa.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
Love that prop bet, Pearl. I think that's great. What do you have in the over-under there?
What was it again?
Over 40.
40.
Yeah. We're going to go over.
Cool. Well, I love the prop bet over 2 touchdowns from Pally. I really hope that happens. In terms of the game, though, I got to say wrong. Not a chance the Showboats are winning this game. Michigan had one bad game. They're going to bounce back. Their defense is going to shut down the Showboats. Showboats won't score in the second half, won't see the end zone. I got the Panthers in this one. The fact they're underdogs, I think, is kind of crazy. They had one bad game there. They're about to bounce back. I'm betting them outright. And I actually think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game, but I think the over could sneak past in the last few minutes of the game.
So not low scoring. Good.
40 under 40 is pretty low scoring.
You said it's going to go over 40.
I know.
Yeah, it could be 41, which would also be low scoring.
Yeah. Jerk.
It's not, though.
You know what?
I like the Showboats in this one as well.
Switch it. I'm taking the under. Give me the under. Under 40.
All right.
Low
Take
scoring
Take
game.
it.
Low
Take
scoring
it.
game.
Give it to
I like the Showboats as well in this one. I think they're a better team than what their record says. I'd like to see Papali have another big day. He's honestly had a great season so far. I don't know why we can't get him on the podcast. It's kind of ridiculous at this point, but whatever.
I'll reach out. I'll reach out.
But yeah, no, I like the Showboats in this one, and I also like the over. I like the over.
I mean, hey, tack on to his league leading 3 touchdowns this season. That could be he could be the dark horse for MVP if he keeps playing like that.
They gotta get more targets, man. The man only has like 2 or 3 catches a game, but they're going for touchdowns.
Yeah. 10 catches so far in the year, 107 yards. But you know what? He makes them count.
Yeah.
He's got it. Yeah.
Every 5 catches he scores.
So,
Every three
all
and
right.
a half catches he's scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that
That's
brings
hard
us
to beat that.
to 4th down. So let's turn it over to the wheel. Spin that wheel.
Let's go. Let's
Spin
go.
that wheel.
Spin
that.
that wheel.
Bring it up, Pearl.
Spin
Give a
that
little
wheel.
lowdown
All
on what
right.
Whistle is for any new
The
listeners.
whispering in
this
my
week.
ear is too much.
All right. So we have our wheel here. Shout out to the picker wheel. Let's get this thing rolling.
Spin that wheel.
While this is rolling, what do you
What
guys
will
think?
it be? What will it be?
Oh no.
Ooh, okay. This is popular online right now. You're sitting on death row. You murdered a bunch of people. What is the last meal that you eat before you sit down in that chair, get that syringe, whatever your method is, execution style? What is your last meal? Who wants to take it off? This to me is easy. It's
All right,
easy.
I'll go. Tristan looks like he is having
My-
the hardest time in the world to come up with this. Like Tristan actually looks like he's having anxiety about this answer. So Tristan, I'll give you a second.
I love food.
For anyone who knows me, I would definitely just want some pizza. Like, I want some pizza. I want some French fries, some cold beer. I keep it simple, but pizza is just my favorite meal. I'm not going to give it up. If it's my last meal, I'm going to roll with it.
You're gonna go out greasy. That's what you're gonna do. Come on, man.
Why do I care?
What kind of toppings you putting on it? What kind of toppings you putting on?
I'd probably do like a couple slices of buffalo chicken. I'd probably do a couple slices of cheese, a couple slices of pepperoni. And Tristan, what was the pizza that you got us in Jersey? It was like ricotta and
Meatball ricotta.
Oh gosh,
Meatball ricotta with the sauce pie in Jersey.
Yep. That's what I would have. That's what my end meal would be.
All right.
Yeah, for me, this is easy. I got to bring it back to my childhood. I have to go with a nice Laspada's Italian hoagie. Dino nuggets. No. It's, moving over here in Asia, you crave a lot of things from America, American food and such. Nothing. See, I'm salivating right now. I want it real bad. An Italian sub from Laspada's. They layer the meat on. They put the hot peppers, tomatoes, salt, pepper, oregano, all the goods. It's definitely, that's my go-to. Tristan?
Awesome. I think I've got it. I think I'm doing, of course, a bourbon. I need myself a nice bourbon. Woodford works. Something nicer would be good, for the last day. And I'll be having myself a
It's your choice,
veal
buddy.
parm with some maybe angel hair pasta, Alfredo sauce. Again, the cheese on the veal parm, and I get it from Christini's restaurant in Orlando, Florida. Bone in. I'll be gnawing at that bone, and I'm gonna try to use it to escape also afterward. Probably won't work. But that'll be my meal. I'm getting excited about that, thinking about it. Shout out to Christini. Shout out to Lada. Shout out to,
excited about it. You got all these cracks.
Shout out to all these
like
food
that.
places that
I
come
like
to
that your
sponsor us.
mind
We
is
are taking
going.
sponsor.
Wait, true. I like that Tristan.
Yes.
Tristan's thought process was, all right. Well, I'm gonna die, so I'm gonna go kill a baby cow because that'll be the best meal I'm gonna have to go out this way. So
Fair.
if we're gonna kill, let's kill everything. Fuck it. Roll damn tide.
I love it. I love it. I think those are all great answers.
Yep.
Great episode, guys. We kept it short and tight, hour and 6 minutes. That's pretty.
Like a
Just
good
the way we
fade.
like it.
Short and tight.
Yep. Yep. So thank you for watching episode 4 NexLevel podcast. Good night, everyone.